Hello, welcome to the channel. This is an interesting video, or an interesting topic, sorry, should I say. I'll try and make it interesting. Michael B. Jordan is rumoured to be playing Tony Montana in a Scarface remake. Now, they are making a Scarface remake. That is happening. I believe the Coen brothers are on board, if I remember rightly. Now, the important thing to note is you read the headline and you go, ooh, Michael B. Jordan playing Tony Montana. That's odd. He won't be playing Tony Montana. Now, Scarface is a remake of a 1932 movie, of the same name, but the character was Antonio Camonte, or Conte. I think it's Camonte. And it follows a similar storyline with some differences and some subtle nuances, with gangster base, but it follows around, a man trying to protect his sister and his sister going into, the sort of gangster world, etc. That's kind of similar thing. Scarface, obviously, the 80s movie, was just leagues above everything. It was absolutely fantastic and is one of my all-time favourite films. In fact, I did a retrospective review of it. I'll leave it linked above. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's an absolute... I genuinely, it is one of my favourite films of all time. So you read the headline, and the headline is there to provoke. Michael B. Jordan won't be playing Tony Montana. He's clearly not going to be playing Tony Montana, because otherwise then they won't be able to do that. Tony Montana is a character which is licensed or is a part of a copyright of a version of Scarface. You can remake Scarface, but I doubt that they're going to have him as Tony Montana. It's just so similar character of a Tony Montana, just like they did with Tony Montana and Tony Camonte, probably. So let's dive into it, see where the rumor comes from. And we'll just kind of dive into whether this is good or bad news. Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. I think it could be great, actually. A new rumour claims that Black Panther and Creed actor Michael B. Jordan will play a reimagined Tony Montana in a Scarface remake, right? So, the rumour appears to come from All Love Hip Hop Twitter handle, who wrote, Michael B. Jordan has reportedly been cast to play Tony Montana in the new Scarface remake. Well, a few things. Not casted, it's cast. In the new Scarface remake, right? So he won't be playing Tony Montana. It'll be a version of the character, just the lead, someone who has a sister that he's looking to protect if they're going to reimagine that story. Now, Newsweek also reports on the rumour stating most recently Michael B. Jordan has been rumoured to play the titular role, which obviously if the rumour just comes from that. Interesting, isn't it? Now, we also get Deadline reporting a reimagination of Scarface has been in the works since 2011, when director David Ayer and Antoine Fuqua were attached. Most recently, they reported that Call Me By Your Name director Luca Guadagnino was set to direct the reimagining. And then it was the Coen brothers that were writing it. So Guadagnino also reported, the work off of a script from Joel Coen and Ethan Coen, who Deadline claims have been on board the project for at least 3 years. So Coen brothers are great. No issue with them. And no issue with Call Me By Your Name director either. No issue with Michael B. Jordan. No issue at all. Now, the only issue is if the Coen brothers go, yeah, I would just steal the name Tony Montana. I mean, that's just dumb. That's boring. It's lazy. It's creatively bankrupt. But the Coen brothers aren't creatively bankrupt. Their most recent thing that they did for Netflix, the Ballad of Buster Scruggs or something like that, wasn't that good. It was okay in parts, but some of it was just a bit of a wank fest. It was fine. But the Coen brothers aren't creatively bankrupt, and I think that they could do something fantastic with this storyline. Now, the reimagined Scarface will reportedly take place in LA, which is a shift from the first 1983 remake, because that's the thing. A lot of people don't remember or realise that the one which Al Pacino starred in is a remake. And do you need to remake it? Of course you don't need to remake it again. But that was a fantastic remake. And there's nothing to say that they won't do another fantastic job on another remake. It's an older than time storyline. It's about family, right? But it's dependent on what they choose to go with, right? Because, of course, the 1983 one looked at Cuba. It looked at communism, a man indoctrinated into communism, hating communism, coming to the United States and basically taking on capitalism by the balls and working his way up as a gangster in some regard. You know, and it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Now, the original one, titled Scarface, The Shame of the Nation, was released in 1932 from directors Howard Hawks and Richard Rossen, based on the novel by Armitage Trail, and a screen story by Bear Hecht. The film starred Paul Muni as Tony Camonte, Osgood Peskins as Johnny Lovo, and Anne Dvorak as Cheska Camonte. It saw Tony Camonte, so again Tony Montana, Tony Camonte, carry out a hit on the head of the bootlegging crime syndicate on the south side of Chicago, Big Louis Costello. Following the hit, Camonte becomes the second man to Johnny Lovo. However, Tony has big ambitions and quickly begins disregarding orders from Lovo and begins encroaching on turf of an Irish gang led by a man named O'Hara. He continues taking out the competition as he plans to take control of not just the south side of Chicago but the entire city. And then it kind of goes a little bit further down, and it gets to the root story of, looking crime and ambition, and then family, right? So, however, Camonte's downfall might actually be due to the two women in Tony's life that include Johnny Lovo's girlfriend, Poppy, who Tony is attracted to, and his willful young sister, Cheska, who Tony forbids from going out on the town and dating men, however she refuses, and then Tony gets all flustered with his opponent, basically the stuff that we see in the 1980s Scarface. So it works, right? Like it's a story that can definitely work, yeah? It absolutely could. Jordan is no stranger to playing race-swapped roles. He will star as Irish-American John Clark in the upcoming adaptation of Tom Clancy's Without Remorse. He also played a race-swapped Johnny Storm in the Fantastic Four remake. The thing is this isn't something which I would consider to be out and out like a race swapping thing. I don't think that really matters. It doesn't really come into it here. This is a remake. It's an adaptation. And it's not relevant either. Like, all you're doing is taking the core fundamentals of the storyline and going, right, well, let's infuse it with modern day stuff, or let's tell it for the modern day in some way, shape, or form. I mean, if you're going to really go that way about it, I mean, surely the Cuban one is almost a race swap version. Seriously, do you see what I mean? Like, it just doesn't, it's kind of pointless to get that agitated by it. And Michael B. Jordan's a great actor, so I don't see any massive issue with it. Do have an issue with this though. So Jordan has also recently come out as anti-police, advocating penning a roadmap for the Colour of Change organisation that calls for Hollywood to divest from the police. Mate, you're virtue signalling, you're being a dumbass. Seriously, you use police and you use private security whenever you do anything. Don't be a fool, don't be an idiot. In a letter promoting the roadmap, Jordan, alongside with Rashad Robinson, wrote, "The history of racism in Hollywood is long and unforgivable, excluding black talent, silencing black voices, derailing black careers, and using both the economic and cultural power of the industry to prop up police departments and the status quo of the criminal justice system." It's just all... no one cares. It's still crap. Honestly, I couldn't care less about this stuff. Whenever I hear and see actors talking about this stuff, I tune out. I absolutely tune out, because for a fact they're sitting there in their ivory tower, sitting on millions and millions and millions of money, trying to lecture normal people. Just get real. Get real. The thing about this is it's not terrible. It's not terrible news at all. Michael B. Jordan's a good actor. He could do very, very good things in this role. He could bring a lot of intensity to this role. Don't let the sort of headline kind of fool you. It is a Tony Montana character, but it's not Tony Montana. But let me know your thoughts on this down below. What do you think? Good news or bad news? Like I say, Michael B. Jordan's a good actor. We can all agree on that, can't we? Like, he has done really good things. He can be really good. And the Coen brothers can write really good things. All the recipes are there for something really good, but unfortunately, all the recipes are there for something disastrous as well. Because you've also got the, nonsense political agenda that's happening nowadays, and which is absolutely infecting into movies, and it is absolutely there, and we have to mention it. That's there, and it could get involved in this, and that would be terrible if it does. So there's that. There's also the fact that, Michael B. Jordan loves to virtue signal it a little bit, and mouth off and say, well, the fucking po-po and all this crap. Like, get real, mate. No one cares. You live in your mansion. Shut up. Seriously. Get real. Like, talk about real problems. The fact that everyone's losing their jobs at the moment. The fact that no one can even leave their house and you just sat there complaining about police. Come on. Play a tune that, people actually care about. And I'm sure some people do. I know, whatever. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Mr. H. Take care.